What if the one seed that could fix your low testosterone, your poor sleep, your chronic fatigue, your weak bones, and your declining drive costs less than $1 and has been sitting in your kitchen this entire time while you spent hundreds on supplements that delivered a fraction of the results? What if doctors and supplement companies have quietly known about this tiny seed's extraordinary impact on male hormonal health for decades? But there is simply no profit in telling you to eat something that costs almost nothing. Men are spending thousands every year on testosterone boosters, sleep aids, energy drinks, and calcium supplements, while this one cheap seed addresses all 5 problems simultaneously through nutrients that are scientifically proven to work. Today, I'm going to show you exactly what sesame seeds do inside a man's body, the real biology, the proven benefits, and 3 precise daily methods to use them starting tonight. But first, hold this one question. If one seed could replace 5 of your most expensive supplements, how much money have you already wasted not knowing this? I'm Dr. Christine Rodriguez, and this is the Men's Vitality Hub. This channel exists to give men like you authentic, valid knowledge about your health, so you can make real, informed decisions that change how you feel. Today, we have one purpose: to show you exactly what sesame seeds do for male hormonal health, energy, sleep, and vitality, and 3 precise daily methods to use them starting tonight. Let me describe something that is happening to millions of men right now, and that most of them have accepted as simply the way things are. You wake up tired. Not the pleasant tiredness of a man who worked hard yesterday, but a deep, unrefreshing exhaustion that was already there when you went to bed and is still there when you open your eyes. Your sleep looks adequate on paper, 6, 7, sometimes 8 hours, but it does not feel adequate. You wake up unrestored. And the day that follows reflects that. Energy that peaks briefly after your morning coffee and then collapses by early afternoon. A mental fog that makes concentration feel like effort. A physical heaviness that makes the simplest tasks feel disproportionately costly. Then there is the hormonal picture. The drive that used to feel automatic, the motivation, the physical confidence, the sexual energy, has been quietly declining. Not dramatically, not in a way that announces itself, just gradually, persistently less present than it used to be. Men notice it first in the gym. Workouts that used to feel energizing now feel like obligation. Then they notice it in their mood, a flatness, an irritability, a reduced enthusiasm for things that used to matter. Then they notice it in their relationships, a libido that requires effort rather than arising naturally. And most men attribute all of it to stress, to aging, to the demands of a busy life. They do not connect it to nutrition. They do not connect it to the specific micronutrient deficiencies that modern diets produce in men at alarming rates. Because here is what is actually happening underneath those symptoms. The average man today is deficient in zinc, the mineral most critical for testosterone production and sperm quality. He is deficient in magnesium, the mineral that governs sleep quality, muscle function, and cortisol regulation. He is consuming insufficient healthy fats, the raw material from which testosterone is synthesized. He is getting inadequate lignans, the plant compounds that regulate estrogen and protect free testosterone. And he is operating with elevated oxidative stress, free radical damage accumulating in his cells, his testes, his muscle tissue, and his brain. These are not abstract nutritional concerns. They are the specific biochemical drivers of every symptom described above, and they are all addressed by one small, cheap, ancient seed that most men walk past in the grocery store without a second thought. That seed is sesame. And what it contains for male health is genuinely extraordinary. Now, before I tell you the benefits and exactly how to use this seed, you need to understand why it works at the biological level. Because without the science, you are just following instructions. With the science, you understand what is happening inside your body, and that understanding is what makes the habit stick. Sesame seeds, botanical name Sesamum indicum, are one of the oldest cultivated plants on Earth, used medicinally across Asian, Middle Eastern, and African cultures for thousands of years. Modern nutritional analysis has revealed why. Sesame seeds contain a concentration of male health-relevant nutrients that is extraordinary for their size and cost. The first critical compound is zinc. A single tablespoon of sesame seeds contains approximately 0.7 milligrams of highly bioavailable zinc, and regular consumption across 2 to 3 tablespoons per day contributes meaningfully to the daily zinc requirement of 11 milligrams. Zinc is the single most important mineral for male reproductive health. It is an essential cofactor in the enzymatic pathway of testosterone synthesis. Without adequate zinc, the Leydig cells in the testes cannot produce testosterone at their biological capacity. It is also a natural inhibitor of aromatase, the enzyme that converts testosterone into estrogen. When zinc is insufficient, aromatase activity rises, testosterone is converted away, and the hormonal balance shifts toward estrogen dominance. Research published in Nutrition found that zinc supplementation in zinc-deficient men produced significant increases in testosterone, restoring levels that had been suppressed by deficiency to their natural potential. The second critical compound is magnesium. Sesame seeds are one of the richest dietary sources of magnesium available, with approximately 32 milligrams per tablespoon. Magnesium plays 3 critical roles for male hormonal health. First, it binds to SHBG, sex hormone binding globulin, competing with testosterone for binding sites and freeing more testosterone to circulate in its bioavailable active form. Second, it supports cortisol regulation through the HPA axis. Men with adequate magnesium show lower baseline cortisol and more regulated stress responses. Third, it is essential for the production of GABA, the primary inhibitory neurotransmitter that governs sleep depth and quality. Magnesium deficiency is one of the most common contributors to the fragmented, unrestorative sleep that depletes testosterone and leaves men exhausted, regardless of hours in bed. The third critical compound is sesamin and sesamolin, a unique class of lignans found almost exclusively in sesame seeds. Lignans interact with estrogen metabolism. Specifically, they inhibit aromatase activity and modulate estrogen conversion, reducing the estrogenic activity that suppresses testosterone and drives belly fat accumulation, reduced drive, and the body composition changes men associate with hormonal aging. Research published in the Journal of Nutritional Biochemistry documented significant effects of sesame lignans on sex hormone metabolism, finding that regular sesame consumption measurably altered estrogen metabolism in ways favorable to hormonal balance. The fourth critical compound is healthy fat composition. Approximately 50% of sesame seeds' caloric content comes from fat, primarily oleic acid, a monounsaturated fatty acid. Research has consistently shown that monounsaturated fat intake is positively correlated with testosterone levels in men. These fats provide the cholesterol precursors and fatty acid building blocks that the steroidogenesis pathway requires to manufacture testosterone. The fifth critical compound is the antioxidant complex, specifically sesamol, sesaminol, and vitamin E in the form of gamma-tocopherol. These compounds provide potent protection against oxidative damage in testicular tissue. The Leydig cells that produce testosterone are particularly vulnerable to free radical damage, and chronic oxidative stress in the testes is a documented contributor to declining testosterone production with age. Now let me tell you exactly what all of this means for your body, because I want you to pay close attention to each of these 5 benefits. By the time I finish this section, you are going to realize just how much your body has been missing. The first benefit is testosterone support. The zinc content supports Leydig cell testosterone synthesis and inhibits aromatase. The healthy fat profile provides steroidogenesis raw materials. The lignins modulate estrogen conversion. These 3 mechanisms work simultaneously to support testosterone production and protect free testosterone bioavailability, making sesame one of the few foods that hits the testosterone equation from multiple directions at once. The second benefit is sleep quality improvement. The magnesium content supports GABA production and cortisol regulation, the 2 primary neurochemical drivers of deep restorative sleep. Men who address magnesium deficiency through consistent sesame consumption report measurable improvements in sleep depth, sleep continuity, and morning freshness within 2 to 4 weeks. This is not a sedative effect. It is the restoration of the biological conditions that natural deep sleep requires. The third benefit is energy and muscle function. Magnesium is essential for ATP production, the cellular currency of energy, and for the calcium-magnesium balance that governs muscle contraction and relaxation. Men with adequate magnesium experience fewer muscle cramps, better physical endurance, faster muscle recovery, and more sustained daily energy than magnesium-deficient men. The fourth benefit is hormonal balance and estrogen management. The sesamin and sesamelin lignins modulate estrogen metabolism, reducing the estrogenic activity that suppresses testosterone and drives the body composition changes, belly fat, reduced muscle, that men associate with hormonal aging. This estrogen modulating effect is gentle, cumulative, and entirely natural, produced by the same compounds that have been doing this work in the human body for thousands of years of sesame consumption. The fifth benefit is cellular protection and immune strength. The antioxidant complex, sesamol, sesaminol, gamma-tocopherol, protects cells throughout the body from oxidative damage, supports immune function, and reduces the chronic low-grade inflammation that suppresses testosterone and accelerates biological aging. For men whose diets are low in antioxidants, which describes the majority of men eating a modern Western diet, this cellular protection benefit compounds over weeks and months into measurable improvements in recovery, resilience, and hormonal health. So now that you know exactly why sesame works, let me show you the 3 precise methods to use it every single day. And I am going to be very specific here. Quantities, timing, step-by-step preparation, because doing this wrong means getting 0 results, and doing it right means your body starts responding within days. The first method is warm sesame milk at night. This is the most effective method for sleep improvement and overnight hormonal recovery. Here is exactly how to prepare it. Take 1 glass of fresh whole milk and heat it slowly on a low flame. Warm it until it is comfortably hot to the touch, but not boiling. Remove from heat. Take 1 level tablespoon of raw, unroasted sesame seeds, white or black, both are effective, and grind them into a fine powder using a small grinder or blender. Add this powder directly into the warm milk. Stir thoroughly for 30 seconds until fully mixed with no clumping. Add a small amount of raw honey if needed for taste. Drink slowly, 30 minutes before bed, while still warm. The magnesium in sesame combined with the tryptophan in milk creates a powerful natural sleep support combination. The fat in the milk enhances absorption of the fat-soluble compounds in sesame, and the overnight window provides the hormonal recovery environment where the testosterone-supporting nutrients work most effectively. 1 level tablespoon of sesame seeds per night, ground into powder. Every night, 30 minutes before sleep. The second method is roasted sesame with honey in the morning. This method delivers zinc, healthy fats, and lignans at the start of the day, supporting testosterone and energy through the morning hours when testosterone is naturally at its highest. Here's exactly how to prepare it. Take 2 level tablespoons of raw sesame seeds and place them in a dry pan over medium-low heat. Stir continuously. Do not leave unattended for 3 to 4 minutes until the seeds turn lightly golden and begin to release a warm, nutty aroma. Remove immediately from heat and allow to cool for 2 minutes. Place in a small bowl. Add 1 teaspoon of raw, unprocessed honey and mix thoroughly until the seeds are coated. Eat this mixture slowly, chewing thoroughly. Sesame seeds must be chewed or ground for the nutrients to be bioavailable. Follow with a full glass of warm water. Light roasting breaks down the outer hull of sesame seeds, significantly improving nutrient bioavailability. 2 level tablespoons every morning with breakfast. The third method is the overnight soak method, and this is the highest bioavailability method of the 3. The night before, take 1 tablespoon of raw sesame seeds and place them in a small glass. Cover completely with room temperature water. Allow to soak overnight, a minimum of 8 hours. In the morning, do not drain the water. Drink the entire contents of the glass, seeds and soaking water together, on an empty stomach, 15 minutes before your first meal. Chew the soaked seeds thoroughly before swallowing. Overnight soaking breaks down phytic acid, the anti-nutrient in sesame seeds that binds to zinc and magnesium and prevents their absorption. Soaked sesame seeds deliver dramatically higher zinc and magnesium bioavailability than raw or roasted seeds consumed dry. 1 tablespoon of sesame seeds soaked overnight. Every morning on empty stomach, 15 minutes before breakfast. Now, before I give you the full solution, I have to be completely honest with you about 2 important things. Because this is the part most health channels skip, and it is the part that protects you. The first warning is for men with diverticulitis or inflammatory bowel disease. Sesame seeds are small and can accumulate in the pouches of a diverticular colon, triggering inflammation and pain in men with active diverticulitis. Men with IBD, Crohn's disease, or ulcerative colitis may find that seed consumption worsens symptoms during active flares. For these men, the safest approach is to consume sesame exclusively in ground or paste form, tahini, rather than whole seeds. Start with half a teaspoon of tahini daily and increase gradually as tolerated, monitoring your digestive response carefully. The second warning is for men with hormone-sensitive conditions. The lignin compounds in sesame seeds interact with estrogen metabolism and have mild phytoestrogenic properties at very high doses. Men with hormone-sensitive conditions, including certain prostate conditions or those on hormone therapy, should limit sesame consumption to 1 tablespoon per day maximum and discuss with their physician before beginning a daily protocol. At normal dietary amounts of 1 to 2 tablespoons per day, the overall effect on male hormonal health is net positive. But men with specific hormonal sensitivities require individualized medical guidance. And here are 2 facts about sesame that are going to genuinely surprise you, because I was surprised when I first read the research. The first surprising fact is that sesame seeds contain more calcium than milk. 1 tablespoon of unhulled sesame seeds contains approximately 88 milligrams of calcium, more per gram than whole cow's milk. And unlike dairy calcium, sesame calcium comes packaged with magnesium, which is essential for calcium absorption and utilization in bone tissue. Most calcium supplements do not include adequate magnesium, meaning the calcium cannot be properly incorporated into bone regardless of how much is consumed. Sesame provides both, naturally, in the ratio the body needs. The second surprising fact is that black sesame seeds are significantly more nutritious than white. Most men use white sesame, the hulled, processed variety most commonly found in supermarkets. Black sesame seeds are unhulled, meaning the nutrient-dense outer layer is intact and contains significantly higher levels of antioxidants, calcium, iron, and the lignin compounds most relevant to male hormonal health. The antioxidant content of black sesame is approximately 10 times higher than white sesame by some measures. Black sesame seeds are widely available in Asian grocery stores at comparable or lower prices, and switching from white to black produces a meaningful upgrade in the nutritional return on the same daily tablespoon. So here is how everything we have covered today resolves the problems that millions of men are living with right now. The exhaustion that does not respond to sleep, driven by magnesium deficiency impairing GABA production and ATP synthesis, begins resolving within 2 to 3 weeks of consistent daily sesame consumption as magnesium levels rebuild and sleep architecture improves. The testosterone decline, driven by zinc deficiency, insufficient healthy fat intake, and aromatase-driven conversion, responds to the zinc, fat, and lignin combination within 4 to 6 weeks of consistent daily use. The poor sleep responds fastest of all, often showing measurable improvement within 1 to 2 weeks of the nightly warm sesame milk protocol. The declining drive and motivation begins lifting as testosterone recovers, estrogen metabolism normalizes, and cellular energy that adequate magnesium and zinc restore becomes available for the neurological systems that produce motivation and engagement. Use the overnight soak method every morning for maximum mineral bioavailability. Use the roasted sesame with honey as your morning food alongside breakfast for the testosterone-supporting fat and zinc load. Use the warm sesame milk every night before bed for sleep and overnight hormonal recovery. Together, these 3 methods provide the zinc, magnesium, lignins, healthy fats, and antioxidants that a man's hormonal system needs, consistently, affordably, and starting tonight. Remember the question from the beginning? If one seed could replace 5 of your most expensive supplements, how much money have you already wasted not knowing this? Now you have the answer. The zinc in sesame supports testosterone synthesis and inhibits aromatase. The magnesium frees bioavailable testosterone, regulates cortisol, and drives deep sleep. The lignins manage estrogen metabolism. The healthy fats provide hormonal raw materials. The antioxidants protect testicular tissue. 1 seed, 5 mechanisms, less than $1 a day. You now know what sesame does at the biological level, the 5 specific male health benefits it produces, 3 precise methods to use it daily with exact quantities and timing, 2 important warnings for specific health conditions, and 2 facts that will change how you shop for and use this seed going forward. If this video gave you a practical, affordable, science-backed daily habit for male hormonal health, please hit that like button right now and subscribe to Men's Vitality Hub. Every week, real science, honest guidance, practical protocols for men who are serious about their health. Tell me in the comments, have you ever used sesame seeds regularly? And which of the 3 methods are you going to start with tonight? Drop your answer below, because your commitment, stated publicly, is one of the most powerful predictors of whether you actually follow through. Thank you for watching. 1 tablespoon, starting tonight. I will see you in the next one.